we're back. And this, you may recognize me. I'm not sure if you do, but my name is Senor Weaver. And, I did go to Wingate University, and I have grown my hair out just a bit. I hope you like the new color. But we're here for Algebra 2, the second time. Number 2, day 2 here. So don't lose me, okay, on the second day. I promised a little better, and it's going to get better. Here we go. Day 2. All right. Starting at number 26. I have the paper here for you, okay? Number 26. This states, what is the domain of f of x equals negative 2x cubed plus x squared plus 1? A, the set of all real numbers. B, from negative 3x to negative 2x to 3, or the empty set. Okay, the domain of a problem. When we're talking about domain, we're talking about the x values all the way across. When I'm talking about the range, up and down. Okay, so I will take this problem here and I will put it in the calculator. Okay, that's right here, ny equals. And then I'm going to look at where it goes across the x. Is it only between negative 2 and 3? Is it only between negative 3 and 2? Is it all real numbers? Does it keep going all the way across? Or is it nothing, the empty set? Okay. Numero 27, or 27. The population of a small town in North Carolina is 4,000, and it has a growth rate of 3% per year. Which expression can be used to calculate the town's population X years from now? I know what you're thinking. If it's growing, it has to start with the whole number 1. So it starts with 1. If it's growing, it's got to be above 1. It goes up 3%, 1.03, okay, to the x power. Bam. Now, moving on. I did say bam, didn't I? Bam. Okay, moving on to number 28. The graph of f of x equals x squared plus 3 is translated to produce the graph of g of x equals x plus 2 squared plus 3. In which direction was the graph of f translated? Inside the parentheses. If you add, it's going left. If you subtract, it's going right. Outside the parentheses. If you add, it's going up. And if you subtract, you know what I'm going to say here. It's going down, just like the rain. Oh, getting a little wet there. Caught in my eye. Whew. All right, light bulb. Here we go. Now, the next problem here. Oh, okay. Anyways, the next problem, number 29, says solve for x, and it looks just like this. Solve for x. X minus 1 over x plus 5 equals x over 2 times x plus 5. Plug them in for x, okay? Plug negative 5 in for x and 2. See which ones work, and that will be your answer. Okay, that gets us through number 29. Now, we're going to move over to number 30. Which graph shows the solution set for the following inequality? The graphs. There's a graph, and there's 4 number lines. All right. Now, I'm going to move everything over to the left side. So I get x squared minus x minus 12 is greater than 0. Alright, in A, it is between negative 3 and 4. In B, it is on the outside. In C, it's between negative 4 and 3. And in D, it's on the outside. Put that in y equals and see where your graph is, okay, for the solution set. Alright, 31 ends up with another graph. Which graph represents the system of inequalities below? Remember, if you're dealing, first of all, you've got to solve both of these equations for y. That's what we want to do, is solve them for y. Now remember, if you divide by a negative, flip the sign. And if you divide by a positive, it stays the same. But remember, greater than or less than is just a dotted line. But greater than or equal to and less than or equal to is a solid line. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so Easy problem right there. All right, moving on to number 32. Okay. Whew. Must have saw my flower there. Okay. Moving on to number 32. And before I do, I just like to pause for all these times that we did not say the pledge. Pledge allegiance to my country. Okay. Now, feeling very American here. All right, now, 32. The dimensions of this rectangle prism are given algebraically. What is the approximate width that will maximize the volume? Remember, volume. You will multiply all three of those together. So what can I make W that when I multiply all three of those together, I will get the biggest number? Plug those in and see what works. 33. A single microscopic organism divides into two organisms every 3 days. Given this formula. Okay, 33 is a problem that you're just going to have to take very, very slowly. So I'm going to step back and we're just going to have a seat and just ponder for a minute. 33. NO is the number of organisms at t equals 0. Well, t is the number of days. So when the days are 0 is when it just started out. Okay, now let's think about it seriously. When it just started out, it says we started with what in the first line? A single microscopic organism. So at t equals 0, we just had 1. So for NO, I can put the number 1. And then the only other thing I need is how long would it take to produce a population of about 10,000 organisms. NT is the number of organisms, so I want it to equal 10,000. So I am going to plug these numbers, A, B, C, and D, in for the T there in the exponent up here, and see which one equals 10,000. Okay, not that hard of a problem. It's long, I understand, but remember, if you'll give it a chance, you can get this. All right. 34. The equation of a circle that has a center of -2, 3 and passes through -1, 1. Remember, you can take the center and one of the points on the circle and find the radius by doing the distance formula. So I need to go back and look at the distance formula. Also, if the center is -2, 3, then for our equation, we know it's going to be x plus 2 and y minus 3. So that takes out which ones? B and D, and that just leaves us with two possibilities. So check those two and let's see which one it could be. All right. 35. Simplify x to the 3/4 to the third. Well, basically, I remember this one. When we're going power to a power, we do what with our exponents? We multiply, okay? Power to a power, we multiply the exponent. So what is 3/4 times 3? That's 9/4. So the answer right there for you. All right. 36. The area of a rectangular window is 4x squared minus 21x minus 18. Both the length and width are polynomials with integer coefficients. Which of the following could represent the length of the window? I think I will explain that one in class. Alright, 37. Which binomial is a factor of x cubed minus x squared plus 3x minus 3? Okay, is it A, which would mean my 0 is 3? Is it B, which would mean my 0 is -1? Is it C, which would mean my zeros were 1 and -1? Or is it D, which would mean a 0 was -3? Okay, check your work. Check it. 38. We're talking about tractors. Well, I'll tell you what now. Good old Billy Bob and me if you look at 38, I think they made this problem about us. We's out there on the farm, eating some hay, drinking some lemonade, and having a good old time. But what I didn't know was they took our tractors away and we ended up with only 3. We went from 5 to 3. Now it took us 4 hours when we had 5 tractors, but with 3, by golly, it was going to take us a little longer than that. Now, how do I know what to use for this?